I have to think about how this will go on there. But that's probably it. Okay. Well, I have a doozy today. This guy just... This is a Xbox Series X. The client that brought it into us bought it offline. Said it had HDMI problems. That's fine. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. There we go. So, the client bought this Xbox Series X. Series X? Series S? Series XS? They bought it from eBay. And it said it had HDMI issues. He thought he'd be able to fix it, and I applaud the guy for some DIY. That's kind of how most of us around here start, is we fix some things on the side, and then passion side project turns into some things full time. Nonetheless, he bought this, and he says that he didn't do anything to the device. Like, he bought it and it came in this condition. He had opened up the device to do a thermal cleaning, which I will say, this thermal paste is definitely chalky. That's not toothpastey consistent whatsoever. That is definitely chalkboard chalk. So that will need to be replaced. Also just checking but there was a reason why the listing said it had HDMI problem. And he took it apart, was getting ready to replace the thermal paste, and noticed back of the board, in front of the board, and said, I don't think I can do this. Fair enough, good to cut your losses when you know you can do something. I think he said he tried around with it, but this is what we're dealing with today. This is going to be so much fun. Yep. So, people might be wondering, what's going on here? What are all those little, they look like dog hair. Well, those are traces. And traces are the copper pipes voltage. And this guy just got ripped off the board. You can see there should be these little guys right here. There's an outline right here, but there's actually nothing inside of that groove. That's where this is supposed to go. So he bought this board online from eBay, and they completely botched the HDMI. I mean, completely botched. And he came in, and normally we have like a charge per trace repair, but I thought that this repair was going to be so interesting, so much fun, and by fun I mean hell. But I wanted to. This is going to be. I think every single trace pulled up. Yep, every single trace to these 8 traces all just lifted off the board. So none of those HDMIs that aren't touching ground are connected to anything. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now the question where I'm starting is it worth it for me to try and salvage these? Or is it better for me to just cut the traces and lay new copper to... Now, is it going to be easy? Depends on how negotiable these look. So, I know I have a lot of work cut out for me right now. This is going to be fun. It's going to be so much fun. I am just so excited about this. I'm going to need leaded solder. I'm going to need flux. soldering iron ready. Gotta get the fume extractor pulled over. Yeah, this is gonna be a good time. All right. Well, let's see how negotiable these guys are gonna be, and just kind of take a look at the board too, just to make sure there's nothing else that's damaged. So, gotta clean it. Little gummy. Those components, last week we took apart a few of those components from an Xbox to transfer over to a Lenovo high-end 4K monitor. Even a desktop. It's just a monitor, and it had a few of these guys knocked off. These guys are fragile. These guys are incredibly fragile. So I want to make sure that I need to replace them. That is definitely not a lot. Let's take. You just look a bit gummy. Yeah, those guys look good. Thank God I don't want to do nightmare. Okay. Those guys are good. A little more of a visual inspection. Sure. It looks good. Oh, the back. Back's also pretty. Somebody tried this. Watch the pretty bad. I wouldn't leave, but that's just pretty messy. Want it to look like nobody's. But my primary concern is that chip right there and all of the components. This chip is the bottom half of what makes it. So what we have here on the top, we have all these little traces that have been pulled off the board. You can see that there's 2 of them, 4 rows, total of 8 traces there. All of those traces go to this retimer chip. This guy looks just fine. Nothing around it looks too bad. And this guy down here, for the other plus 1, I don't know the map, but there's like 3 or 4 traces that go to this guy right here. And it looks fine. Doesn't look damaged. All the components around it don't look bad. I am gonna clean it off a little bit just so I can see if they're damaged, but I think we're good. Yeah, those traces look just fine. That's good. And honestly, I can probably test. No, I can't. There's also traces that go back there. I'll test it after I fix it. Leads me to the next part, which is okay. Let's see just how negotiable. Start with 1. Honestly, oh yeah. See those pins, how they're wiggling? See, that one should wiggle right there, but this one right here, this second one, this one shouldn't wiggle. It's a wiggling. So that's something I didn't think about. The way that these traces work is that there's 2 traces that go to a connection. See this guy and this guy. But the one in the middle is on ground. So that one's ground. Next one, this one's ground. This one's ground. All of these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them should be connected to ground. And ground is, as far as being able to rip traces off the board, the reason why all these guys came off, because these traces are really fragile. Ground itself, when you solder onto it, it takes a lot of heat. So whenever you solder something onto ground, it tends to stay there pretty damn well, because it takes a lot of heat, a lot of force to actually remove it, whereas all these little traces are easier. Thermodynamic. But the fact that all of those ground points are wiggling, a little concerning to me. I'm wondering if the ground pads are actually. So I gotta take off this HDMI. And I'm gonna check those ground pads to make sure everything's. I'm gonna get that ready. Oh, get my trusty paint gun. $29, Home Depot. Not sponsored by Home Depot, but these are freaking great for getting any of these HDMIs off. Underneath the desk. Alright, she's plugged in. Now we're gonna switch over to the desk. Yeah, this is it. Well, I made changes to my theme editor and it didn't say. Oh well. Okay. Okie dokie. Normally I'd like to get bottom heat. I don't think the key pull this far forward. I'm gonna try and do it. Should still be fine. Beam extractor in there. I don't know what kind of solder they use on the. I'm actually gonna. I don't know if they use a low temperature leaded solder like I like to use to get these guys off, or it was something a little bit higher. God forbid it be higher. I'm gonna add some flux to these guys. A little bit of leaded solder. And that tip should just. Well, it took the solder well. That's good. Still feels rough though. Like I can still feel the botched job, like. We'll see. Hopefully when I hit it with the heat gun, it should take off well. In fact, I may just hit it from the top here. I'll have it flipped upside down like it is right now, and then I'll just hit it heat gun from this angle. That way I'm still hitting these angles. That's probably the better. Yeah. Yeah, somebody did not know their. It's okay. We all start not knowing. A little bit of light. It just fell right out. Huh. Yeah. Oh. All right. I'm gonna remember that in the future. That's actually quite convenient. Pops right out. All right. Flip around, get it back under the microscope, and hopefully that HDMI port. That was hot. Right. Hopefully those ground pads are okay. The pain in the butt to retrace ground pads again take a lot of heat. So, all right, let's microscope and see what we're working with. Oh boy, I don't know if I want to see that. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Everything's been ripped off. Everything? Everything? Yeah, everything's been ripped off. This is gonna be so much fun. Maybe my whole day of work is just fixing this. Okay. Well, I feel like the best thing to do probably start just left or right, start rebuilding pads. Ugh. Oh, better time like the present. This should be so. Come on, chair, go down. You all go down. Oh, we don't. I need to raise my desk up a little bit. Okay. Oh, so good. Here we go. All right. So first one's going to be the trace. How well can I get this guy? And that board is still very hot. Oh, hey, look at that. Trace fell right off. Well, that makes my life a hell of a lot easier because that little guy just popped right off. Yeah, so I need to run my own trace to that point. Right. Okay. At least I get to do maybe one of these. Nice to try and keep some of these. Let's get real close. Let's see what we're working with. Yeah. Oh, I need to fix my vision first. As much as I would love the video to see what it is I see, I gotta fix what I see. Then I will just video. Alright. That should be good. What I just did is I scraped away the top layer of the PCB. Now it's not technically a PCB, that's the layer that's on top of it, but it's very similar to this UV curing mask I have, this green tube. And not sure how PCBs are exactly cured, but it is just a protective coating on top. I can still see, like all these other traces here, I can still see the copper until and see the copper trace. If I try to put solder on that, it's not going to stick because there is a coating over it. I had to scrape that away so that the one on the far left, as you can see, is a little shinier than the others. Now, we can take... God, I am so good at losing things. We're just not looking. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to try and save these guys. I feel like they're going to be a pain in my butt. It'll also just make better content. Oh my gosh, now it's so much easier. I can actually see what I'm working on. Okay. Okay. Now we can see that trace. Solder up a little wire to it. A tiny wire. But first, I got it. Yeah, there we go. Now that has layer of solder on top of it. There, my really fine wire. Now you can see really fine wire, solder it right on top of that lead, trace it on over. Now, I do want to establish a soldering point. So, let's see what's the best soldering. That's great. A soldering point for me, area that I can have a ball of solder. Constantly use it like a little reservoir. There we go. Forgot my tape tractor. Alright, I got my little soldering point. Take my wire. Bend it in just the right way so I can actually manipulate it. That right there. Good. Now this wire has some solder that's coated on the top of it. So I can go back to that. Just like that. A little tap. It's good. Right, now comes a little bit more of a tricky part. I need to have enough wire ran that I can also trace it back and forth to make up this pad. So I'm gonna this there, this here. I want to trace it back and forth. One. Okay. There we go. All right. Now my question is, myself, should I run the second one for this line? Would be that second wire right here. Should I run that so that I can put enough UV curing mask on this row? That way I can just run it once, and then I don't have to worry about that row again. I actually kind of like that. I'm gonna do that. I think that's gonna be the most efficient. Instead of getting one done at a time, I can get two done at a time. But I'm not doing so much that I might open up more possibilities for me. Okay. Exposed enough of that. Wire. Back to the soldering point. There we go. Back to the trace. Random ear edge. Okay, I think that should be good enough. I was dipping from that soldering point to recoat, which okay. Wire. Okay. Yep, gave her a nice tug. She's on there. Go to the top. I cut approximately the same amount off. All right. Now this is the fun part. I say fun all the time. This whole process. I need to lay down this wire that it kind of goes into the groove where that trace was. It just keeps it in line. It makes it a lot easier. The difficulty is trying to make something that has a natural way that I already wanted to bend force itself into a straight line, which is going to be challenging. Wow, that second one's actually doing pretty darn good. That worked really well. I remember that. All right. Brushed it into place like some. Okay. Now it's time for 2 fingers, 2 hand tweezers. And I see that? No. There we go. All right. It's ready? Wow, that was quick. Okay. I don't know if I've ever gotten one done this quickly. It's always been more difficult. That is. All right. Well, now it's time for my puddle of UV curing mask. This is going to create a new layer on top of it. It's going to be a lot harder. That's what she said. All right. Pop it right. Oh, well. That's going to be in range of the black light. And I don't want my puddle too hard. So, on these little cloths, fold it over a bunch of times. I'm going to put a dollop on that. Yeah, that's done. Now, take our X-Acto blade, move it on top, and we just ever so gently start from the back, run it forward. Now the trick to UV curing mask is that when it lays down like a liquid, it's going to dissipate. It's going to spread. That's the word I'm looking for. It's going to spread naturally over the areas around it. So because I don't want to move these wires too much, I'm just going to run it right down the center. And if I need to, I can adjust the spread a little bit more. But I do see that wire kind of popped out. I might have to give it a little motivation. Okay. Wire number 2 is doing great. Wire number 1 is fighting against me with everything it's got. So I'm gonna try and tack it down a little bit. This is gonna require using the tweezer to kind of hold it in place and hitting it with black light just so it cures just a little bit, just hard enough that I can hold it and tack it down. So, backlight. That into. I want to make sure it actually doesn't turn on immediately. Okay, it is off. Get it in position. Turn. Okay. Coffee. Oh, my logic camera went out. Isn't that interesting? There we go. That was weird. All right, let's try this again. Coffee is just botheriness. All right, that was enough to do the job. I'm gonna work my way back and kind of, you can see it already cured the top. That should be fine. It's not perfect, but I think that's gonna cure well. So, I'm gonna take this guy, change it right over top. Like that. We're gonna let that do its thing while I also fix this. Let's one. I'll fix it. Okay, that's right. Okay. Now that's curing. Kind of let that do its thing. It shouldn't take too terribly long, but. Ooh. Transformer in this Sonos amplifier. Okay. That recently went out. At least that's what online sources tell us based on the flashing codes it's been given us. Whether or not that's the actual problem. Oh, but we'll definitely look it over and see if we can find anything. Okay. I think that should be good. Good. I might put a little bit more over that second line because it does a little bit. But before I do that, I have to get this ground pad built. And that's going to be a little bit more difficult. Again, ground takes a lot of heat. Just do that. If I can save this little. Yeah, if I can save that, it's going to be a lot easier. Slightly exposed. Oh, and it just knocked off. All right, well, got the rest of it. Same shebang. One more. Fun. Okay. As not appealing as that looks, that's gonna work. So, fire back. Go over to our little soldering pool. Go. Now this one's going to be a little bit different because I'd have to down. I'm soldering up to it instead of down. Maybe. Let's see. Or I just change it. That works too. Okay, that's tacked on. I want 2 lengths so that I can run it back and forth. Active blade, 1, 2, and I'm going to cut it over. Okay. This is fun. Again, 2 tweezers. You don't need any PM extractor because right now this is just crafty part of it. Weaving them back and forth. That one's done. For number 2. I want the grippy ones. Oh my gosh, look at gummed up. Not any better, but I mean, it is a little better, but that's about it. So 1, 2. Okay. Oh, that middle one. That will do. What I need to do now is clean it so I can put a good UV curing mask over that without moving wires whatsoever. So I'm actually going to use any tools that are going to physically touch it. Instead, I'm going to use rubbing alcohol, get that area kind of cleaned up a little bit. Then I'm going to use hot air from this guy to push all that off. I'll see what like this, but it works. These are tips just to make sure we have a good area to work on. Now we have a good area, not adding anything to the area, but it is still a good area. Back sort of like output down. Okay. Now let's see if I can do precision cutting. I didn't move a single one by but they are the correct size. Flatten them back out one more time, just make sure they're all lined up correctly. Oh. Okay. That looks great. Now, good amount of UV curing mask and just right onto it. Come on. Good. All right. Backlight's on. Oh, gotta wait for that to cure. I don't think they set up the okay. A little bit more. should be enough to hold it. Now, let's go back to it. All right. On to the next two. Oof, top one. Yes. How far that goes. Let's see if I can do 4 in a row. Might be getting a little greedy, but we shall see. Oh boy. It needs a little flux. That ottering pool is getting a little sad. I'm not going to try to do okay. 4 traces down. And a little anyway. I'll see that. Alright. Time to brush these guys down. Hopefully they don't. They look good. They look like they have good contact. I'm gonna go with it. Why not? Do the old brush trick, hopefully. And then I might need to adjust my microscope. Bear with me. Okay, so that looks good to me. Now when I okay. Definitely a lot better for me. Ugh. Yeah. Okay. Might have been a little bit too much. Just a hair. Not terrible. Could be worse. Okay. Oh, now I'm just gotta lay those guys down. Oh. Too much movement. Not right now. That was an untimely call. Worst time to receive. Who dares disturb my... who are you? A telemarketer. Oh my lord. Well, that was mildly irritating. Whoops, did not want to move that. Something's not working here. Oh well. Oh. Darn. There we go. Freed up that other cable. Now I gotta do the same thing. Not a dog. Man, am I glad I didn't fix it. Ugh. Magic number is going to be 2 in the future. Definitely. Aw, I just got it all over my finger. Awesome. Well, but pretty darn bad. Maybe. Testing. Yeah, 3. Okay. Oh no, I keep coming from somewhere. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh. This over here. That. Ah. And this one's fine, but I do want to take quick editing. Editing during video. And right on top. Hey, look at that. Perfect. All right. Oh yeah, huge piece. Most definitely.
primary control of critical vehicle function.
Okay. Should be good. Nope. That should. I don't think it's deep. That might be good. Yeah, that's definitely good. All right, let's fix that mistake. Well, that was. Well, definitely got a few more to go. Mm-hmm. They're trying to kill me. Oops. That's the wrong. Okay. Not gonna do 4 again. It's too much. 2 at a time. too many times all I should do. Oh, God, right now. And we're back. Caffeine. Okay. That's enough. I have an ingrown hair bothering me. Oh. Come on. Be a good wire. There you go. A little much. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Okay. Oh. Okay. Time for some in. Was madness. Absolute chaos. I don't think I ever want to try. Ugh. Oh my gosh. The handle? Look at that. Every time. That is okay. 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 Do the thing. Do the thing. Right there. There we go. A little bit closer. All right. Force just too much, man. Force just too much. Oh. Right. Oh. Yeah. How can you do that? That was just. There we go. Testing, testing. Yeah, or it was just. I'm gonna. Go. Well. Oh no. Oh. Hour and 33 minutes. 5, 2, 4, 7, 8, 9 traces done. Terrible. Actually, good time. I think. 5 HDMI repair. Oh my. Lots of. Yeah. Needs a little more time. I think it's that one. Ooh. How well? Or not? Crazy how quick this is. That'll do for now, so switch back. Ingrown hair. All right, last two on this trace. Might have to call it on that. On more than 2 hours. Definitely. Yeah, I don't want to use that. Soldered it back a little bit further on the wire so that way I didn't have a bent wire, I suppose. That is definitely going to be easier. There we go. Yeah, those look awfully strong. Those would do real well. And the camera does kind of autofocus. A little bit of the green goop on my finger. I'm gonna go back and touch up the back spot later. I'm gonna try maybe tackling first if that ends up being a little more cost effective and going over it once with the heat hot air gun instead of times. We'll see. Where is weapons? Okay. Perfect. That was more than what I could have asked. Okay. Well, it doesn't look great right now, but as far as tack spots go, I think the best. I'm gonna have to refill my isopropyl. All right. Okay, that'll do. Oh, last time. Last cure. No! That's the worst thing that could happen right now. No. Darn it. Oh. That's mildly frustrating. I'm gonna have to try something creative. Oh, clever. And then black lights in position. Fingers on the gun. Okay, I think that did it. Just applied enough force down on them that sat them down as they were cured. They were kind of tilted up. The level of improv you need to have when it's going to work is sometimes so silly. 1 hour and 51 minutes. We got through 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 traces. I should. 120 minutes divided by 12. 10 minutes a trace. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Oh my. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna check this from an angle. Yeah. A little. It's not that bad actually. Not really that raised. A little raised. That last, hard to tell with the camera, but looking at the right nose area, there's a little bump there. Not terrible. Could be worse. I will be able to fix it. And really, it's not too bad in the grand scheme of things. Because what I'm going to end up doing, taking that HDMI port, I'm going to lay a big, thick joint of solder on each one of those legs. That way, when they sit down, they're going to be a little wonky, but they're going to make good connections. So that's the most important. So I kind of have to do this well enough that it's just super secure, and that when I begin to peel back the layers of this mask that I put on, that I can put solder on each of these traces so that they have enough to contact the feet that are coming off the HDMI port. Anyway, this has been a lot. So I'm going to cut this one off right now, and next time we'll be wrapping up the other one. 7. 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 20. Okay, yeah. All right. The other 7 over there, so yeah.